And for those of us who identify as creatives, entrepreneurs, or just people who like to be really good at what we do, that first step can feel like stepping into quicksand. Not because we don't want to start, but because we don't want to start poorly. We tell ourselves we need more time, more preparation, more clarity before we can begin. And sure, sometimes that's resistance. Sometimes it's self sabotage. But what if sometimes it's just part of the process? For years, I told myself that procrastination was a bad habit I needed to break, that I just needed to get better at diving in. And on the whole, practicing starting imperfectly is absolutely an empowering and worthwhile endeavor. But also, the more I've learned about my own creative process, the more I've realized something. Procrastination isn't always a problem. Sometimes it's part of the way creativity moves through us. Take this podcast, for example. Flow is everything for me when it comes to this. At the end of the day, this isn't some strategy to funnel you into a course or pitch you something. This is just me showing up, sharing, serving, and creating as a practice. And let me tell you, there are weeks where starting feels like pulling teeth. Weeks where I sit in front of my mic, staring at the blinking cursor, wondering why I can't just begin. Sometimes it's effortless. Other times, it's excruciating. And part of embracing our process is making peace with both. So, what if we stopped treating procrastination like a personal failure and instead got curious about the role that it plays in our process? Sometimes the waiting period before we start is actually an incubation phase. Our brain is working things out beneath the surface. The delay doesn't mean we're stuck, it means something's still unfolding. Other times, the resistance is about fear. Fear of starting imperfectly, fear of not doing it right, fear of putting something into motion that we can't control. And that's where we get to practice something radical. Before we dig even deeper together, I want to make sure you've grabbed your free copy of The Growth Without Burnout Blueprint, a guided journal I created just for creatives like you who are building bold, beautiful lives and businesses without losing themselves to the grind. This is your rhythm reset, your space to reflect, realign, and remember who you are while you grow. If you've ever felt like your ambition and your nervous system are at odds, this is for you. Inside, you'll find powerful prompts, check-ins, and mindset shifts to help you grow with courage, creativity, and clarity without burning out in the process. It's totally free, it brings you back home to yourself, and it was made with you in mind. Head over to ellenbrowencoaching.kit.com/no-burnout-blueprint or tap the link in the show notes to get yours today. All right, let's get back to the episode. Think about anything you've ever learned in life. The first time you rode a bike. The first time you tried to cook a meal from scratch. The first time you had a conversation in a new language with another human. It wasn't smooth, and it wasn't effortless. And yet, you still figured it out. So, why do we expect ourselves to be fully competent before we begin? Why do we assume that hesitation means something is wrong rather than just being part of the process? The art of starting isn't about finding a perfect entry point. It's about allowing ourselves to enter wherever, however, in whatever state we're in. So if you've been stuck, waiting for the right moment, this is your permission slip to just begin in the mess. Begin with the uncertainty present. Begin with the doubts and the fears still sitting next to you. Bear witness to your process. Trust in your process. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share the love by leaving reviews and comments. It would truly mean the world to me to hear from you and to support those you care about. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a day and join me in my mission help a world full of content creators become a world of contentment